This is the worst division in NFL history. The NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys, New York Football Giants, Philadelphia Eagles, and Washington. I can't even get the name out. This is just so bad. I can't even get the name out. I can't even say the name. I can't even say the name of the team that's in first place right now because it's literally a team with no name. 2020 NFC East. If 2019 was just the start of a monster downfall for the NFC East, 2020 must be the garbage bin. And it was lit on fire by a 59-year-old hobo. This year sucks. This year sucks. All the teams have a negative record. And by the end of this year, by God, if Washington loses tomorrow, at the end of this year, a team from the NFC East will be in the playoffs with a negative record. Either Washington, Philly, New York, or the goddamn Cowboys. Heading into this year, the NFC East had huge expectations. Well, two teams, the Eagles and the Cowboys. The Cowboys, Dak, Zeke, Amari Cooper. You got those three guys with a lot of young talent, and CeeDee Lamb, and the defense is still one of the best in football. When healthy, Leighton Vander Esch and not DeMarcus Ware, or is it DeMarcus Lawrence? One of those two names. You have those guys leading your team. The Eagles, Wentz, coming off a stretch in the end of the season. Max Kellerman saying that it was probably decent at best against the NFC East, but it was a stretch nonetheless. It was a great stretch in 4 games. Even with a loss against Miami, Wentz had his best stretch of the year. End of the year, he's getting healthy. He's getting guys back. He's getting younger talent. He's got Jackson. He's got Jeffrey, Ertz. He's got some young guys in Jalen Reagor. The front seven is still elite. Graham, Cox, Barnett. And then you have the secondary getting a major improvement in Darius Slay with Jalen Mills and Avonte Maddox to back it up. What could possibly go wrong? As Giants and Washington, who somehow changed their name from the Redskins to the... I can't even say the name. It's so awful. With those two teams sliding down a bit more, even with new coaches in Dallas, New York, and Washington. Ron Rivera, Joe Judge, Mike McCarthy. Those three guys, with Doug Peterson still in the run for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jim Schwartz still in the run for the Eagles on the defensive coordinator, and Doug Peterson as the head coach. The same team that Philly had, just a little bit more improvements. Dallas with a whole new offense and a whole new defense. Washington, same. New York, the same. This team, that somebody from the NFC East is going to at least have 10 wins, maybe 12 wins. No, that's the start of the year. The start of the year, yeah, that was... Oh, no. First off, Philly, 17-0 against Washington in Week 1. Ended up blowing the 17-point lead. Didn't score a single point afterwards. And not only that, Dallas loses to Los Angeles, who I knew was going to bounce back after a tough 2019, after making the Super Bowl the year before. And then New York is New York. They were facing Pittsburgh with Ben Roethlisberger back. So what you have already is Dallas, New York and Philly taking losses, while Washington, the goddamn football team, has one win. And the weeks keep going by and 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 by. We are into week 16. The team on top of the NFC East right now is a team that nobody predicted to be on top of the NFC East this season. No one predicted Washington to be on top of the NFC East. Everyone had them third to last, or maybe the last place. But credit where credit's due. Washington did something that no other team did, that no other NFC East team did, besides the Giants, and in lesser sense, the Cowboys. Improve their defense. Chase Young is Rookie of the Year. He is. Period. That guy is a monster. I just, is it fair to say that he could be the next Aaron Donald in a sense? I mean, he's not as big as Aaron Donald, but dude is lightning quick and he can get a massive hit on the quarterback and bring down any running back as well and get past any offensive line. He is a beast and is a player that's going to be elite for Washington for the next several years. Alex Smith has to be comeback player of the year. I do not want to hear about Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger. Alex Smith is comeback player of the year. Just to come back from the leg injury, the most gruesome leg injury ever. One of the most gruesome leg injuries. On the same day that Joe Theismann had his leg injury that ended his football career, and Alex Smith could have lost his leg, possibly his life because of it, coming back and playing like he's played. Now he's out on the IR. I don't know if he's going to be playing. I think he's not playing this week against Carolina. So is Dwayne Haskins getting the start? And then it's insane to see what Washington's improvements are. And that's why Washington is on top of the NFC East. The Giants made good improvements on the defense. And Joe Judge is using the very best out of that team. The team is solid. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a Washington hater. I'm not a Giants hater. It's sad to hate on them. But when it comes to the Cowboys, you are a nice team. But you know why you're hated? It's because your fan base drives people nuts. Like, I literally cannot stand a Dallas Cowboy fan. I can't. I literally cannot. They win a game. All you can hear is Super Bowl. We got a chance to go to the Super Bowl. You're in the NFC East with the most bottom-feeding teams in the NFL, and then you have the NFC with Seattle, Los Angeles, Tampa, New Orleans, Green Bay. What Super Bowl? What Super Bowl chance do you have? There's no Super Bowl. Stop. Please. I'd rather mention Arizona. Now I get to Philadelphia. My Eagles. Oh God. This season could not have been just absolutely horrible. And people want to blame Carson Wentz. I'm here to tell you right now, Carson Wentz is not the issue. Carson Wentz is not the issue. He should, A, not be traded, B, be the starter next year, and C, he should still have his, well, A and B. He should not be traded and should be the starter next year. C is stay in Philly. Period. Carson Wentz is having a terrible year. This happens. There are quarterbacks that went from MVP caliber years to plummeting It's happened. It has happened to the very best. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no lie about it. Tom Brady has had bad years. Aaron Rodgers, bad Roethlisberger. Not to say that Carson Wentz can be compared to those guys. He's nowhere close to them. But Carson Wentz, who got paid over $100 million, is apparently expected to try to fix these issues. How can you fix issues that cannot be resolved? Injuries cannot be resolved by Carson Wentz. The offensive line cannot be resolved by just Carson Wentz. The secondary cannot be resolved by just Carson Wentz's play. Coaching, head office, the person that should be let go but isn't being let go is Howie Roseman. He has set up Carson Wentz for failure. So much failure. And I look back in the previous drafts. There's 2019 Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf, and you see what he's doing at Seattle. Metcalf is easily, top 3 wide receiver in the NFL? And that, I don't care what anyone says. That guy's a goddamn monster. DK Metcalf is insane. Arcega-Whiteside, you chose Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf, all because of something you saw on tape. With some of the stuff that's coming out in the dirt sheets about Howie Roseman and the Eagles front office, and also about the Eagles team and overall players, is insane. It's so crazy that this is happening. Then there's talks about saying if Wentz isn't like the starter, he wants to be traded. First of all, Wentz is not getting traded. No matter how good Jalen Hurts plays, and he is great. Jalen Hurts is great. He's been playing great the past, I believe, two and a half games. I'll say 2.5 games. Green Bay, the full one. He played great in that stretch, and then he played great against New Orleans. He played great against Arizona. But there are more lingering issues than just the quarterback. It is the head office, is Howie Roseman, his draft choices that has set up the Philadelphia Eagles for much failure, and then there is the secondary. The secondary is horrendous. The only reason it's so bad, the defensive calls that are made, I don't know how, I don't know what kind of calls Jim Schwartz makes on the sidelines, what kind of coverage they want to play on guys. It's terrible. It is terrible. That defensive secondary needs a fix. A massive fix. Because at the rate that it is right now, that defense is so bad. I don't know what the problems were in Super Bowl 52. After Super Bowl 52, the Eagles have fallen down and down so bad. They went from perennial Super Bowl contender every year to bottom feeders of the NFC. You're right now. I think the Eagles are in a top 10 pick for the draft. We're in 2020, about to head into 2021. It will mark at least, I believe, 3 years since the Eagles won the Super Bowl. That ain't good. That is not good. And as many people want to blame Wentz and his play, and Doug Peterson and his coaching, which are fine, those are fair reasons, you can't put this all on them. Wentz has the talent. Wentz has the markability to be an elite quarterback, and I believe he can do it in Philly. He needs the right weapons, he needs route runners, and at the same time, he needs a healthy, more young offensive line. Lane Johnson is out. Jason Kelce is the only person on that offensive line that is still healthy, that is still playing right now. And I know that Jason Kelce is probably banged up too. You got no Brandon Brooks. You got no Jason Peters. You got a whole bunch of young guys that just Matt Pryor and Sayamalu. Those guys had not panned out. Has not panned out. I feel as if as soon as this offseason comes, there should not be a rebuild. I say this. Doug Peterson, Carson Wentz, they should keep their jobs. What you have to do as a front office, you have to get some help. And I mean some veteran help. Not just, and you can get some help in the draft as well. As I hear not Chase Claypool, but a college wide receiver by the name of Chase. I can't think of his other name. I don't know. I can't think of the name. But apparently, he's great. He's the best wide receiver prospect in the draft this year. He's going to be great. He's going to be a good choice to take off of that list coming in 2021. Then you have to go into the free agent market. The free agent market is the best place to do it. And you got to plan a trade. You got to get some trades. You got to trade. It doesn't matter what you trade or need to trade. You have to fix the offense. And you also have to fix that secondary. Because it's been awful. The Darius Slay experiment has not worked. It's not been working. And sure, it's one season, but it's been multiple amounts of games. It has not been good. The Eagles secondary has been atrocious. And I know many fans don't want to say that it's mainly been that. When it has. It has. If I'm the Eagles this offseason, if I somehow miraculously make the playoffs, it doesn't matter if you win a game or you go one and done. You have to do the following. Fix the secondary, get some help, veteran and young help for once, and the draft. You have to succeed in the draft. I've seen Sidney Jones and Rasul Douglas actually been doing pretty decent in their places. Our best defensive secondary player is Jalen Mills. And he's good. He's actually a good safety. As many people want to rag on him, Jalen Mills is our third best player on our defense. Fourth best player. From Graham, Cox, Barnett, and that's Jalen Mills. The Eagles have to get this shit together. It has been so hard to watch this division because of how bad, of how god awful it has been. To see them actually play primetime games, Thanksgiving games, and do what they do, it's hard. It's so hard to watch them. 4-8-1, 4-9, 5-9, I believe, or 4-9, I don't know. I think it is 5-9. And then also, I think it's 5 or 9 or 6-9 for the Giants, and then I think 6-9 for Washington. It's going to be the first team to 6 wins. I don't know who's going to get 6 wins. But whoever gets those 6 wins, or maybe somehow there already is a 6-win team. Maybe. I think there's Washington at 6-8. And I think the New York Giants are, I believe, 5-9. If Washington pulls it off, congrats to them. But goddamn, I will be embarrassed to be watching the playoffs with a team with no name playing and somehow possibly winning. That will make me sick to my stomach. I don't know. Washington is at 6 wins. The division is still up for grabs for Dallas, New York, and Philly. But they should all 4 of them teams should prepare for next year. Because this has been awful to watch. Those teams have been awful to watch. With subpar to mediocre to atrocious quarterback play, to minimal and atrocious defensive plays, subpar, average, minimal to atrocious coaching. And yet, I still rock these colors. I will still be an Eagle. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. Let's try to make some history happen again.